works. SHIT we say for Thursday.
All right. It is. Hey, what's going on, Tube? Say hi to the Tube.
What up, Tube?
Orale.
What up, Tube? Orale, Tube. I like that. All right, and last but certainly not least, probably most important, I guess,
The show.
the show. Y'all ready? Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1.
Welcome to another episode of Business Bros. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode, Take Action Tuesday.
Take Action Tuesday. I like it.
Take Action Tuesday. Hernan Cias here, host of the Business Bros podcast, along with my co-host,
The Insurance Bro, James Cias with Pipeline Insurance. And as always, we have yet another exciting show planned for you. That was my semi-movie voice.
Semi-movie voice? That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was all right.
They're kind of corny.
Kind of corny. Ooh. What kind of movie are we talking about?
976.
Speaking of numbers.
All right. Well, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Today's guest is all heart, which of course speaks to me. We were inspired to bring him on from his LinkedIn content, so be sure to check that stuff out. A truly service-oriented professional who cares deeply about the relationships he creates with his buyers and sellers. From KW El Cajon, please welcome today's guest, Jack Rowell.
Hey, thank you, man. You're good, James.
Right? I told
James
you.
James came up with that in like 20 seconds, man.
I just need to know a little bit about you and, I dress it up.
You're a lingual sorcerer.
One cunning linguist. Coming
I am
right
a
up.
cunning linguist.
Watch out. This is 976.
619, right? Number's right up there.
All right, ladies and gents. Well, speaking of James's number, he would love for you to give him a call. Whether you need insurance, maybe home, auto, commercial, life, whatever insurance you need, or maybe you want to add insurance into your particular business, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. You can use that same contact info. If you got shoes to donate, we need 100 more pairs to reach our goal of 365 pairs of shoes. So if you got new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And it's a very hot, sunny day in October. So if you guys aren't taking advantage of the sun by getting solar, but you've been thinking about it, maybe your AC bill's gotten really, really high. I know mine has. We got to start taking advantage of the solar power. So dronecode.net/business bros is where you need to go. Make it simple. Don't sit down in front of a bunch of presentations. Let them come out with their drone, take pictures of your rooftop, take measurements, send them to roofing companies and solar companies. You sit back, look at the quotes, pick the one that works for you, and get it done. Stop wasting all this time and money. Get on it, dronecode.net/business bros.
I was just dancing because in my head all I could hear is, it's getting hot in here, so get your solar
Coming
on.
soon.
Oh,
Parody's coming
Dun, dun,
soon.
dun, dun. I gotta get some solar.
Had the grill on and everything.
In your face, Nelly.
Exactly.
In
Who did
your
it better?
face,
Who did it
Nelly.
better? That's what we're going to have to
In
say.
your face.
All right, Jack. Welcome to the program, man.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
Well, I got to admit, Gary Vee is one of the people I like to listen to a lot, especially when it comes to trends and doing stuff. And he said, you need to be getting on LinkedIn. You need to be getting on TikTok. And I've gotten on LinkedIn. I've had my LinkedIn for quite some time, but I've never been active on it, right? Like when I'm active, like I'm really active on Facebook. I go in, I look at what people are doing. I comment when I see something I like. And so I started to apply the same type of thing in LinkedIn. And then that's how we hooked up.
Hey, right on.
And so, I wanted to give you, your props on the show because, you're consistently putting out valuable information on your LinkedIn profile. So listeners, if you guys want to look at a profile that's giving you practical, tactical information, buyers and sellers, information that seems simple if you're in the real estate game. And if you're not in the real estate game, this is exactly what you need to be listening to. Information that gets you to the closing table. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so unscathed. Plus he does it with some music. I know he's making some changes here and there, but let's face it, I love. Whoops, dropped my grill.
Your grill. Drop your grill.
So
My bad.
You're making some changes, but tell me a little bit, Jack. Like, what inspired you to do this in the way you were doing it? The videos, the way you were making them.
Well, I was watching the Gary Vee stuff too. I was at a class, and the first time I saw him, I was like, "Oh, that guy make a lot of sense." Started listening to him, started talking to people like, "Hey, man, have you heard of this guy Gary Vee?" And they go, "Oh no, only for the last 10 years, and only like 40-50 million people know about him, Jack. You dummy." And so anyway, he's heavy on podcast. He's heavy on posting. He's heavy on sharing value. And so I'm doing the regular stuff in my lead generation. I'm doing my phone calls, and I just want to do something extra with the 5 minutes of time that I have left over. I got a 12-year-old. And so I just wanted, and what do you give? What can you give out there that's valuable? And I don't want to be another realtor that's giving out, pumpkin pie recipes and, this is something that, decorate your house and do the little things. I wanted to get some nuts and bolts in there. And so the series I'm doing right now is on how to, for people that are selling their house on their own for sale by owners, wanted to give them a oomph to protect them, something that they could follow to stay out of jail, to put some money in their pocket, stay out of court.
Because that's a big thing. You're going unrepresented.
Exactly. And I'm against it. I'm against you selling your house by yourself, like I'm against you making your own clothes. And we know,
well, one sleeve might be longer than the other. Buttons might not line up.
I bring up that analogy sometimes and people go, oh yeah, I make my own clothes. And brother, we know. We know you make your own clothes. We know when you cut your own hair. We know all this stuff, because it's evident. And so when you take that to selling a house, when you take that with something that's a big asset and people that are going to live in it, you open yourself up to liability and losing money. And so, hopefully people will listen to me and heed my warnings and be safe.
The content that you've put out, the little nuggets of information, they're not long either. It's not like you're talking for like 30 minutes, like on a 30-minute daily podcast.
How unlike a realtor, huh?
Right? But they're pieces of information that are useful. How are you coming up with each individual one? I'm assuming you've been in the industry for a while.
Yeah, I was licensed in 99.
Oh, so yeah, just a little bit, 20 years.
Yeah, work myself out of skills. I am in real estate. That's all I can do.
That's it. But I'm assuming that when you come up with a content piece, it's probably a question you've been asked before. Like,
absolutely. But how I'm doing this series is it just started from, you decided to put your house for sale. You're going to move. You want to sell your house. So first of all, what are you going to do with the money? And people that are going to make a lateral move, I suggest don't. Stay home. If it's going to be lateral, then you're just going to be paying fees and stuff. The only person making out is the lender and the realtor. So just stay there and fix that place up.
Might be cheaper just to get rid of all your furniture and then buy new furniture.
Do something else. Yeah, get a haircut. Cut it yourself. If you need a change, but a lateral move is a loss. If you're stepping up, if you're stepping down, if you're doing something different, if you got a new kid, then things are changing and you need a different something or you want something else. Then it's okay. So now you got a decision that you're going to sell. And then I just went through the steps of doing that. And right now we just got through disclosures.
Well, let me ask. 20 years of being in the business. That means you've gone from carbon paper, right? Carbon copy contracts, right? Because that was
sign hard,
right?
Yeah, that was a joke. That was press hard.
But the first time I ever bought a house, that was the contracts we signed. They were carbon copy. We went to a Denny's and boom, that's how it was done. Transitioning into a very tech heavy, you went through a couple downturns in the economy, and yet you're still a realtor.
Yeah.
So most people can't get past year 2. Yeah. You're year 2 plus a 0 on the end. What advice can you give realtors to help get to a point where they can consistently make a living at this long term, up cycles, down cycles, changing markets, whatever?
Well, the one thing you hear when people who want to get into the business, because I want to be my own boss. Yes, that's true. You're all your own boss, but now you traded one boss for 1,000 bosses. Every client is your boss now. And so when they call it weird times at night, when they want you to do something weird, it's your choice to either service them or don't service them. and they can fire you just like your old boss could. And so, 1999, New Year's Eve.
Y2K?
Yes, absolutely. Kinko's was closed. That's back when it was Kinko's, by the way.
Yeah.
Instead of
Before
FedEx. Yeah. They were closed because the world was going to shut down. And so I couldn't get to a fax machine, and I was getting this offer out. So a buddy of mine was a bail bondsman. So I went and hung out with him and did my faxing, and we got the offer in. My people got their house. And anybody out there who knows a bail bondsman, hang out with him at his job. It is the most hilarious scene you're ever going to come across. With the phone calls that come in, hey, Mom, yeah, you know what happened this time? It wasn't my fault, but I'm going to need some bail money. And oh yeah, it's I highly suggest it.
You can't make that stuff up.
Oh no, it was just I was appalled and shocked and humored and the whole thing.
All in one night.
Yeah.
Well, especially on New Year's night, especially on Y2K. You were partying like it was 1999, quite literally.
It was absolutely. And so anyway, as a realtor, you're going to have to make some decisions. Are you going to go the extra mile? Because to get through the hard times, to do things, you're going to have to do extra stuff. I've cleaned up neighbors' yards of my listings before because for the open house or to make it show better.
That walk appeal.
Yeah, exactly. I've put up fences. I've done other things that are outside the realtor scope. And a lot of people say, oh, I would never do that. Cool, I'll take that person. That's I will go that extra mile. So my advice to people who want to get into real estate, strap it on. Let's, your helmet, that is. It's not a 976 reference. Lace up your cleats and get ready to go.
So now that you've been in the business 20 years, is most of your where do you get most of your business from?
Referrals.
How do you build a referral book of business? Everybody wants to get to that point. When did you realize that is where your business is going to come from, and that you intently started building a business like that?
Well, I'm not necessarily. The first brokerage I was with, and actually it was with Robert Weichelt. You guys had him a few times ago. Peace to the Weichelts, peace to the San Filipos. But Tri-Palm Properties, and I was working floor, if you've ever had that luxury. And like I got my first call. I got somebody and I sold them a house, and for some reason that just terrified me. It's like, man, this is that is not a sustainable.
This is too easy. Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. So immediately I took one of those Brian Buffini classes and learned how to do referrals. But it's just if you do good, you get good. Mm-hmm. And if you do a good enough job, people talk about you. And that's the whole.
You have anything built in place? I mean, there's a lot of talk now. It feels like a lot of things are supposed to be systematized, right? You have a drip system, you have a text campaign, you have whatever tech savvy thing, a social media campaign that's put into place to try to maintain so that you stay top of mind or anything like that. You and I, we come from an old school thing where, like, when you wanted to stay top of mind, you picked up the phone or you showed up to their house and you knocked on the door and people didn't hide and run. They actually opened the door and were like, hey, what's up? Come on in. Like, how much of that is in your business now?
Oh, I make my phone calls or I do a lot of texting nowadays to my people, but it's not a spam, a group text or anything like that. I text the person individually, whatever inside joke I have with them, I put that, or for some of my people, cuss words and calling them things that are inappropriate, because
but that's the connection you have.
Exactly, we grew up together and whatever, and so, but just because people are so used to not answering their phones nowadays, and so especially if they're at work, whatever, I try to respect that. A lot of people I'll call, but yeah, every day that's part of my routine.
Just making sure you keep in contact with your circle of influence.
Absolutely. And I, give touches every day.
So
in a non-976.
Make sure that point stays there. So, but you're still doing things to generate new clients as well as the referral base.
Yeah.
Right? That never goes away.
No, and that's, as a realtor, you got to have that hustle in you, and you got to have that. And also, most realtors are ex-actors or singers. I mean, I was never any of those things, but there's a little showmanship in a lot of realtors, I mean, goodness gracious, how many classes have you been and somebody has to raise their hand and get up and tell a speech, and it's not a question. You're not asking a question, dude. You're just talking about something.
The exits are over here. Oh, let me tell you a story.
Oh, gosh. But yeah, realtors are the people that never met a paragraph they didn't like. And so, and that's why the bus ads or the bench ads, and I mean, I'm one of the few realtors that doesn't have his picture. Oh, actually, that's not true. Now I got a picture on my card too. So I'm a realtor.
It's official.
Yeah. And so anyway, my whole point is we like to be creative. And so that's another thing that my posting and my podcast gets to feed a little bit.
When did you decide social media was going to be a thing in your space? Because, I mean, I know for me personally, prior to the podcast, you could find me on Facebook, but I didn't really post. I had one because that's how I got invited to family events and, that sort of stuff. But I wasn't an active, user when it comes to Facebook. But now it's a whole different ballgame. Now I'm like, well, where do I spend? I got 20 minutes to spend on social. Is it going to be on Facebook interacting? Am I interacting on LinkedIn? Am I interacting on TikTok? What am I doing now? And it's intentful, right? I'm trying to do exactly what you do with your text messages, except I'm doing it on social. And it was a change for me because I came from a world where that didn't exist. I grew up, play outside until the lights came on. So when did you decide that I need to do this social media thing?
It was during that Gary V class, and this is all pretty brand new to me. I used to mess around with Facebook a few years back and got very turned off by all the negativity. And there's still a lot of that, but now I'm not looking for it. So, if you're not looking for something, you don't find it as much. Absolutely. But so I'm pretty new with like LinkedIn, with the amount of posting I'm doing and being religious with it. So 4 months, maybe something like that, with my steadiness of posting on social media.
And what are you seeing as far as results? Maybe not deals, but attention.
I'm getting a lot more real estate interaction, and that's what I just helped a guy out with a difficult situation where he has an inherited home, and hooked him up with an attorney, gave him some comps, gave him some advice, which I'm extra happy to do that. I might not get the listing, and if they sell, he will use me. That's not a problem, but it might be a better situation for them to keep in the family. Cool. I want to be that guy. I want to be that source.
That's awesome. That's the type of connections, same here, that I've been having, and it's a different mindset. Like to be able to help somebody without getting paid is a different mindset. There's so many people out there that are like, I'm not gonna help that guy move. They're not gonna pay me. I'm not gonna do this. It's my rate is like, $50 an hour. They're only pay me $10 an hour. Like, I don't want to do that. But my mindset is completely different. I'm like, well, let me help you out. How can I help you? How can I be of service to you? I just want to build that relationship. And you seem to be that type of personality type.
I am, and I don't like hippie terms like energy or karma or anything like that. But there is something to that. Giving and you get, on a biblical note, the more you give, God blesses you way more than you could ever bless him, or you know what I'm saying? And so I do believe the more value you give, the more oomph you give, the more goodness you give, the more you're going to get back. And so me being a greedy person, I got to give
give more.
I got to give way more. And so, just on a practical note,
giving feels so good. I should give all day long.
Yeah, exactly. And just like if you gave 8 hours a day and got an hour back, that don't suck.
Oh, well, and one of the Gary Vee things that I really like is shooting for a life of happiness. And there's a lot of joy and happiness when you help people. it literally does one of the greatest
Absolutely.
feelings in the world to help somebody.
Absolutely.
And if you're just doing that every single day, now there's multiple ways that you can do that. You can do that by helping them buy or sell real estate. You can do that by helping them buy insurance. You can do that a number of different ways. But if you can figure out how it is that you're going to help people, the more people you're willing to help, the happier you're going to feel. Getting that
Absolutely.
extra hour back, well, that's great, but I just helped 10 people,
Yeah, and
20 people.
And it comes back though. I mean, for the people like me that are greedy, it does come back in a material kind of way. I mean, you get the immediate gratification like you're talking about, but the good stuff does come back. And so for you greedy bastards, just be patient. It's coming. And but you're right. The immediate gratification of helping somebody is king.
It is.
King.
It is.
And it makes you live longer too.
Yeah. Hopefully. It's the fountain of eternal youth right there.
Hey, I'm still alive.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
I'm living forever. That's the proof.
So, you said you have a 12-year-old, right?
Yes.
What does she think of your time schedule, your constraints, what you're doing in your business? You think I have two of my own 9 and 10-year-olds.
Oh, right on.
And they, I was hanging out with my daughter yesterday. She came home a little sick, and I was like, I can pick you up, but I got stuff I got to do. You got to come with me. She's like, Dad, you are busy. I actually like that they see that. I like that they see the habits that I have, because it's hard to tell them do this. It's much easier to model it so that they know what to expect.
If you say do this from the couch
while
you're watching the game,
Yeah.
that doesn't have the same oomph.
No.
If you say follow me, I'm doing this, you're a leader.
Yes.
You're leading your family. Right on.
So what's it been like for you as far as, I have a daughter. She's 10 going on 15.
Brother, I know.
What advice can you give me as far as helping them kind of see a light of what we do?
You know what? Because as long as we do carve out some proper time for them, which I do, and I'm sure you do too. I'm like you. I think that's important. Dad's working. Watch me. This is, you're going to be doing this one day. Do it with a smile. Do it properly. Do it with some integrity. And things are going to go good for you also.
They see the ups and the downs. Early in your career, did you have any times where you were thinking, "Man, this is tough. I don't know if I can hack this. If I'm going to be able to pay my bills in time."
You know what? I burn all my bridges. There was no looking back. I was sleeping on the couch when I started. There was absolutely no way where I was going to not do it. Now, have there been difficult times and been times when I wanted to quit? Absolutely. But there wasn't a time when I doubted, could I? Mm-hmm. And especially because you've seen realtors out there, there's some crappy ones. There's more good ones, don't get me wrong. But there are some, yeah. But there's some crappy ones, and even they make money. And so, I never thought, could I do it? Sometimes I thought, would I?
When's the next closing? Well, after you got that one closing, how long was it till you got your next one? Like did you was it one where I got the first one? Oh man, that's not gonna happen again. It just kept coming, or was there did you have to do certain things and decide, I'm targeting expires, I'm targeting FSBOs?
Well, I immediately, like I said, after I closed that first one, it terrified me because it was so easy. And so I took a Brian Buffini, and that's for people who don't know that, it's a course, it's a way of doing referral business. And so after taking that, I just, I was writing notes every day. I was making calls every day. I was doing pop buys. I was doing all this stuff. And it works. But like anything will work if you do it. Mm-hmm. And so I was just sitting, with my horrible penmanship, my Prop 13 penmanship, And I would get calls back saying, "Hey Jack, I got your card.
I can't
with
read it.
this chicken scratch note that do you want something? Are you in trouble? Are you a hostage?"
It worked into your favor, though. You see that?
Absolutely.
You got the interaction. They're like, I know you're trying to tell me something, dude. Just spit it out.
No, and that's why I'm not stuttering or whatever doing my post or right now. I'm not the most eloquent guy, but doing it. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Take action every single day, a little bit every single day.
Yeah.
And it'll make a big difference.
Absolutely.
All right, dude. So let me ask you, where do you see yourself going in your business? Is this something that you're gonna go long term till the day you die? You're gonna be closing escrows, or like do you have an exit strategy in mind? Because that's something that a lot of people in the real estate space don't really talk about. Is when do I get out of the game?
No, I'll change in it where I won't be as front lines. Right now I got the helmet on. I'm in the tank. I'm a frontline warrior. I will. What I want to, where I'm starting to bleed over to, transition to, is doing more referrals. That's why my new podcast, Leaving San Diego, is meant for people that are leaving San Diego. And so I'm doing referral business. I just did one in Colorado Springs. And so I'm kind of transitioning into that, and hopefully my podcast and posting and stuff like that, I can keep that going also.
Yeah, that's cool though. So you want to be doing where you're just getting paid referral fees?
Absolutely. That's
no more frontline work.
Yeah. No.
That's exactly what I'm working on doing. I haven't represented in about a year.
Oh, right.
A year and a half. But I've closed some referral business.
No, that's nice.
That's cool. That's always a cool gig because time, right? I mean, the wife was like, "You need to be home for dinner, and it'd be nice if we had you home on the weekends." And
home for dinner is good, man, because they're eating food. At
that time. Otherwise, you're sitting at the listing table smelling food. It's not quite the same. But developing an exit strategy, something to get out of real estate, because you had a W-2 job, you were probably putting money away in it. Either you had a job with a pension or you had some 401k or something to get out of, eventually accumulate enough money to last the rest of your life. In real estate, it's tough. Got a lot of people who, saving is far off because paying the taxes is the hardest part at the beginning.
Uncle Sam, come on, baby.
So, that's one of those topics where, I like to sit down and talk to some people and be like, what is your plan? Do you have a plan? The thing I get most of the time is, well, I've thought about it. Yeah. And that's the extent. I've thought about it, but what is it that we're going to do?
I know I'll be catering my funeral. That's for sure. I don't have a plan. And the people who I know have retired, they're either antsy or they die soon. Mm-hmm. They pass away. I've seen it so many times. Hey, I got my gold watch.
Dead.
Crickets.
Yeah.
And so I don't even. Like I said, I'll transition, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop working. I'm going to do something. And what's funner than making money?
I can't disagree with you on that. I'm glad you said that because
that's ball, right?
I'm really hesitant to use the word retire because of the same exact reason. Because when I hear retirement, it's people who've been in a job for 40 years and then they retire and then they die. They have no more purpose. Their purpose every day was to get up and go to that job. Yeah, exactly. And as soon as they leave it, now what? I mean, there's only so many days you can go golfing. There's only so many days you can sleep in after a while.
And I'm a horrible golfer.
I can golf about 9 holes, maybe, terribly. And then after that, it's just golf cart and a beer. That's it.
Well, the guys I golf with, I mean, we're drunk by the third.
There you go.
And
see?
So, and I'm not talented in the first place. And so just driving recklessly.
After that, it's where do you go? I don't know. Where's your ball? I'll hit from there.
I'm a firm believer in leave one, take one. The golf balls.
That's great. Leave one, take one. I'm going to use that strategy myself.
I love it.
This one's more hittable.
It's definitely more hittable. Look, I found a ball. It's not your ball. Leave it there. Sorry. No, anyways. So yeah, the whole retirement thing is I agree with you 100%. It's you need to have a definite purpose every single day, a reason to get up and keep going. Otherwise, I feel you literally tell your brain, I'm done. It's over. I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So
the brain will act right.
And it will. And you've been doing this for 20 years. I don't think you're going anywhere. I don't think it's going to go away ever. It's just going to, like you said, transition.
Be a Navy SEAL or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's a perfect, right? You know, when I turn 70, I'm going to become a Navy SEAL too. Absolutely. That's it. That's where I'm going to.
Well, the guy who gave me a ticket in Nevada, officer, I can't remember your name. He was a really nice guy. But he became a cop at 47.
What?
And I was like, bless your heart, man. Right on. I wish you were a little bit more senile.
Oh, look, a bird.
Yeah,
drive off.
Exactly. But...
You're like, this guy was awesome. He still gave me the ticket, though, but he was a great individual.
Us 50-year-olds, man, we're not dead yet. Damn
right.
Don't be thinking about cutting it out.
Hey, man, I don't know about you. I stopped mentally aging at about 25, and I've been 25 since. So I don't know. I'll be 40 in a couple years here. I still think like a 25-year-old.
Well, if you like the music I'm listening to, then we're stuck in the 90s hip hop.
Yep, that's it.
So maybe that's helping us not age.
Today, the students were working on some stuff. They're like, Mr. Diaz, can you play some music? Yeah, sure. 90s jams it was. Ain't nothing wrong with the 90s jams.
Dude, they were the good stuff.
They were the good stuff. All right, Jack, let's see. Let's do the Ask the Bros section. So what is it that you would like to know between James or myself? I mean, he doesn't talk very much over there, but you can ask him a question. While you think of a question, I'm going to make sure our audience knows 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year. Ladies and gents, new shoes, used shoes, or you want to donate cash, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. He's also the insurance bro. So if you need help with your home, auto, commercial, workers' comp, general liability, we can throw out all kinds of words if you want to know. But if you need help with any of those things, hit James up 619-884-0045 or james@csfirst.com. And on a hot sunny day, you want to make sure you're taking advantage of that, blasting your AC without having to worry about paying that high bill. DroneQuote.net/business bros is the place to go when you're thinking about getting solar. They're going to send out your information to different contractors, whether roofing and solar companies. You sit back, pick a quote that works for you, and lower that electric bill. Sit, chill, and enjoy the AC on these hot days. DroneQuote.net/business bros. Whew.
He is not reading, people.
That's
all off the top of the noggin.
That's it.
Right on, man.
I'm wearing contacts,
right?
And it drops the words right there, right in front.
That's why I gotta edit a lot, man. I gotta say everything in 5 sentences. Start again.
Well, when you do it every day, it gets easier after a while.
All right, cool. So, question for me: you brought up retirement and the purpose of you doing things. First of all, James, what kind of insurance would you, for folks getting old, what would you suggest that, how should an older person get insured?
Okay, so an older person has time not on their side. So when it comes to
you have
retirement,
to define older person, right?
Nicest way to put it.
I mean, yeah,
not on their side.
Time is not on your side. So when it comes to retirement, there are some things that we can put into place. There are some life insurance products. But there may not be enough time for them to accumulate a ton of cash value unless you're putting a ton of money into it. Hopefully you've taken some opportunity to, build a nest egg prior to getting close to retirement. But what we can do is to set it up so that you can at least leave some generational wealth for your loved ones behind. And that really is a foundation of, what people have done for generations and generations to move that wealth from family to family. And one of the best things about it is that we can do these types of things with minimal tax implications.
Oh, nice.
So,
all right, cool.
There are options.
So now what, for a question for both you guys, why do you work hard? What are your, I know you got a 9 and a 10-year-old, and that's probably a lot, but like what do you want them to have besides food? You know, what do you and I don't know if you have kids also, James.
I don't.
Oh, that's why you're all happy and young.
Right.
He's all rested.
Yeah, exactly. No bags under his eyes, nothing. He sleeps.
Right
he gets
on.
to sleep when it's sleeping time.
Yep, that's true.
So what you guys is why?
What's my why? My why is to help you become a better you so that you find purpose and happiness in life.
Oh, right on.
So we were talking about joy and helping people. I love when the light bulb goes off in somebody's head. When I get to sit down and listen to somebody's story and they tell me this is what's going on and I can find ways to help them improve their life. That's like cloud nine for me. Like I'm happy there at that point.
How
Like,
cool that you're a teacher though too, that you get to feed that.
perfect.
Oh
Yep.
man.
It's perfect. And anytime I get, I can hop on a soapbox anytime, but I can gauge the audience too. I can gauge my 17-year-olds. And if I'm on a soapbox and nobody's listening, then it's not the right time. But if I'm on a soapbox and everybody's silent and they're all engaged, those are gems in my day. That's what exactly I've hit a string, some sort of emotional string in their life that they're connecting with whatever it is that I'm talking about and whatever subject matter we're talking about that particular day. I thrive on that. I love that
right
stuff.
on.
So that's my why.
Oh,
His
cool.
why.
I'm inspired to spread positivity and empower others to create wealth for today and generational wealth for tomorrow.
Wow, you guys have had this question before.
No, we've just done a lot of work in discovering our whys.
Right on, man.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about it actually on the show yesterday, how powerful finding our why has been, or finding my why has been for me. It's been only a couple of months since I've discovered the foundation of it. I've been practicing it and putting it together, in a more concise way, and that's where I'm at right now. But it really is something that like wakes me up and gets me going. It's like, yes, today I get to help someone create wealth for today and generational wealth for tomorrow. Today I'm inspired to spread positivity.
Nice. Extra nice. Now, how frustrated do you guys get when you can see someone's problem and they're not listening?
You know what?
You're allergic to peanuts.
Stop eating the peanuts. Yeah.
Oh.
It hurts when I do this. Well, stop doing that. One of my favorite things to say is "I told you so." Like it's a very a-hole move, but I love doing it. It's like, dude, I warned you. Remember we sat down and talked about this? Remember we said this and this would happen?
You knew!
And you did nothing.
And you did nothing.
So, I love saying I told you so. I'd rather say I told you so in like, see, look at where you're at now. I told you you'd get there.
That's
the
cool.
best one.
Yeah.
But I will tell you I told you so when you're, sitting in the mud on your butt because you took a step and I told you not to take that step.
Dummy.
So, I told you so is one of my favorite things to say. And people are going to make decisions that they're going to make in their own life, in their own way, in their own time.
Sometimes people have to touch the fire.
Sometimes they do. And
Yep.
all I can do is say, hey, I told you. Let's look at the next one.
There you
All right,
go.
let's fix it. Let's fix it for the next one. But, I don't know. Maybe it's a parenting thing. Don't do that. Don't do that. I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that.
There it is.
Yep.
Told you
All
so.
right.
All right, Jack, do me a favor. Look at this camera, this guy right here, and tell people how to get a hold of you if they would like to work with you.
Oh, my number is 619-507-7449. Also carrier pigeon and smoke signals.
Smoke signals.
I accept all of those. Or you could email me if you still have that kind of technology, ROWELL realestate@gmail.com.
No 976 number?
No 976 number.
What is it?
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
That is what they're saying.
I had the same face when he told me.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
That face is the same one,
my-
right?
Wow.
That's what I look like when he told me.
My goodness.
Mind
It's like
blown.
when you first read the lyrics to that most difficult rap that you ever heard.
Yes.
He's
The rap
saying
god.
that.
Oh, that's what he says.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's perfect. Jack, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Hey, man, thank you guys extra. Business Brothers, what a great podcast you guys got going on.
Thanks, man.
Best
Thanks.
logo on the planet and best intro music. Absolutely.
Shut up and sit down.
Bow.
Cool. Cool. I appreciate that because we've always wondered about that intro. To be honest, now that we're like 300 plus episodes in, it's like I never hear the intro to my own stuff.
It's really good.
I still remember it though.
I still remember it. It's a shut up and sit down.
Yep.
That is fun, but
no, it's really, really good. It's energetic. It's jamming. It's just right.
Perfect. That's good to hear. See?
Yeah.
Thanks for the feedback.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gents, thanks for hopping on the live. If you're listening to this on replay, remember, you guys can find us on YouTube. You guys find us on Facebook. You guys find us on LinkedIn, TikTok. Follow us on TikTok at Business Bros Pod. But if you want to catch the live stuff, it's on Facebook at Business Bros Pod. Hit the like button, share it, and catch us on the live feed. Then you get to see goofy stuff that we do, like when I showed you the grill yesterday or my farmer's tan from yesterday.
Your grill.
Either way.
Your grill.
Exactly. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye. Spread positivity.
Right on.
Bye, Facebook. Love you.